Hi there, this is Solitude from Solitude Films, and welcome to a slightly different video. You may be familiar with my Mediocre Films channel, but just to prove that I can be mediocre in any field, I'm just going to go through the 13 books of mediocre poetry I have written. I don't write them as Solitary Ronin or Solitary Ronin Films because that would be ridiculous. I write them under another name, which I'm going to cover up for legal reasons. But I started, my first one was 2012. I had written mediocre poetry in secondary school, a little bit at university, and they were kind of buried in notebooks and various places hidden around the country. So I had collated them and put them in one place. And that first volume was Wings Against Metal, which was really a title about the sound of Wings Against Metal. This isn't a Paul McCartney protest against Black Sabbath or anything like that. So this was rudimentary, as most of it is. So volume 1 has 80, let's call them works. I'm not going to sit and read the whole book. I don't think YouTube would allow that. For quality control purposes, obviously. But I'll just read you a couple of snatches so you can see the level of mediocrity. We have Jackal Tears. Look away as the jackal tears out my tongue. Turn your back as the light in my eyes fades. I know you may find this deeply profound. Not many people do. You are suspicious of little people. You built the church with the crooked steeple. You are prenatal. This one's entitled 7 Droplets of Rain. 7 droplets of rain, 4 tears from a sheet of paper can cure a pig of thirst. Yep, you can see the sheer level of artistic power. Here's one called Cronenberg. On the same page as one called Quincy, but I won't read Quincy. I'll only do that by request, and there won't be any requests. But this is Cronenberg. Pick the scab, put my fingertip in, it's all gone Cronenberg. Pus oozing down my shoulder, finger goes all the way in, knuckle, palm, wrist, all the way in, keep going, elbow, keep going, my shoulder goes into my shoulder, I disappear into myself. Obviously people have tried to burn these books, which is perfectly fair. This is Memories of You, which is on the same page as Hair and Semen, but obviously I won't read out Hair and Semen for legal reasons. And this is Memories of You. I remember holding your face in my hands, holding your body in my mind. You don't remember anything. So that's Wings Against Metal. Not available in any bookstores. And then I thought, well, why stop at 1? So I then did A Plate of Stones with this lovely Egyptian theme. So this one only has 68, you'll be glad to hear. Here's one called Cramp. I stand in the rain with a tense calf so I can go home and cramp. I know, you might be thinking this is the most powerful poetry I've ever heard in my life, and you wouldn't be correct. I'm trying to pick ones that aren't absolutely terrible, just mediocre, obviously, because that's what I'm going for. This is one called A Million. I travelled 1,000,000 miles to reach the temple, but the monks had lost the key. That's A Plate of Stones. Again, not available in bookshops. Don't try looking for it, because you won't find them. This is volume 3 of Reflection and Circumstance. That's a lovely picture of a Highland funeral and a gun. This volume has 72 works. The first one is a lovely little work called Self-Immolation. She has passed contrition, straight on to righteous indignation. Through grief, she is now choosing self-immolation. Brings a tear to a glass eye, I know. There's one called Kiss My Sores. Kiss my sores, lick my scars, free the whores, throw their chains into the sea, lie in the gorse, surrounded by gold, let the river run its course, while you lie at the sun. Use your power, feed my wounds, solve the puzzle of my skin, with your tongue, let the bees have their flower. This is a powerful. Both pages are powerful. This one is called Commonwealth War Graves 2014. Have you got your tickets yet for the Commonwealth War Graves 2014? The medals will be given posthumously. The events won't be televised. No country would be proud to lead the medal table. So go to the graveyards across the country and pay your respects for the ones who gave their lives and have filled the Commonwealth War Graves. And this one's called On a Railing, just as biting and savage. Stick a bunch of flowers on a railing to show you care, covers your guilt, hides your failings. We have no communities anymore, except when a wasp gets on a bus or a paedophile moves in next door. So go stick some flowers on a railing. Savage stuff. This is volume 3 of Reflection and Circumstance. Don't worry, there's plenty more. Next we have Q for Traitors. Let's see how many pieces of work is in this. This has 72 as well. This one's called Pick a Side. Suicide, homicide, insecticide, patricide, infanticide, matricide, genocide, feticide. In life, eventually, you must pick a side. What side are you on? It's ridiculous that I got away with this. Desolation of Crucifixion, anybody? No. Gruesome Gertie. I'm not going to read it, but Gruesome Gertie. It's a wonderful evocation of an electric chair, which had a nickname called Gruesome Gertie, strangely enough. Okay, I'll read it, seeing you want me to read it, obviously. This is entitled Gruesome Gertie, and it's about an electric chair. I've got a date with Gruesome Gertie. She don't give me any of that pancuronium bromide. I don't want to be numb when I'm with my special girl. I'm going to see my Gertie in a special room with an audience behind glass. They're going to watch as we get it on. It's going to be hot on the concrete floor. I'm going to get a haircut, look presentable for my girl, so when I sit on her, going to look the part with my special tin hat. So strap me down, put a bucket under us to catch the fluids. As we go at it, 15 seconds is all she needs to blow my mind. So check the clock, make sure it's 8, let's get ready to rock. One date is all you get with Gruesome Gertie. With a flick of a switch, she starts working on me with her power. She's electric, she's so hot that my brain starts to cook, she's so hot that my eyes break free from their houses and sludge down my cheeks like runny eggs. I see nothing wrong with that. One date is all I got with Gruesome Gertie. She made me so hot that she killed me, so they come in to take my corpse away and wipe Gertie down, get her ready for another guy, get her ready for another day. Oh sweet Gruesome Gertie, she always gets her way. That's Q for Traitors. Next is my Macabre Claw. How many works of... this has got 74. This one's entitled Black Talon. Raven perches on electricity. Black Talon builds powerful nest. This one's called No Difference. Sometimes I cry at the cold, empty vastness of the universe. I cry at my insignificance. My tears, however, make no difference. This one's a little bit of comedy. This is called Our Despair. We forget what it feels like to be free once we return to the place of our despair. Calciform visage. We have different faces for different people, but when the flesh falls free, like the rotting leaf from the tree, we all have the same one true face, you and me, our calciform visage. Yeah, it's not going well, is it? This one's called Every Single One. I'm going to kill every single one of you. I'm going to kill you all for fun. I'm going to kill every single one of you, then fire myself into the sun. That's my Macabre Claw. Next, the books get bigger. You'll be happy to know. This is Existential. I can't even remember the title now. It's Existential Ghost Life Emptiness. You know, I like to keep the titles cheery and upbeat. You'll be disturbed to know this one has 125 works, if that's what they pass for. Yeah, I'm not gonna, no, that's not appropriate. Yeah, probably none of this is appropriate. But that's another one. And then we have the moving... How am I going to do this? That's quite awkward. Bordeliers Pony. You know, classy titles now. Bordeliers Pony. This is 120. It's kind of funny because the last one is entitled Don't Judge Me Too Harshly. That should be the title of the video. Catgut Caresser. That's quite a good title. Peach Trees, The Ruins, Living in a Zoo, Tragic Architecture, Blind Sugar Mice. Well, we just read Blind Sugar Mice just for old time's sake, as my subscribers end up going to 0. Blind Sugar Mice pound my being with their amorous hammers and flailing nail tails, as my hand bloodied adds another chapter to my testament of pain. That's went a wee bit Hellraiser, isn't it? Blind Sugar Mice plotting my downfall with their needles and spoons, with the crow of the cock and the flight of the loon, I'm whiskered away to my testament of doom. Blind Sugar Mice create my oblivion with handshakes and signatures, with numbers and figures, squeaky clean deceivers, flush me down the river to my testament of spasms and shivers. Clock of Damocles. Usually it's obviously sword. This time it's a clock of Damocles for legal reasons. When will I be free from this clock of Damocles hanging over me? Dead man on my doorstep, I spend every second that I'm free watching the weeds grow through the wall. Time is inconsequential to the weeds or the wall. Yep, that's Bordeliers Pony. Next we've got a bit of a beast. This is Scissors in the Shower. Nice red colour for this one. Oh, this one's quite big. That's what she said. This is 182. There's literally 182 in this one. I mean, abandon all hope, ye who open it. My finger has just happened to rest on one called Rancid Sick Bag. I'm not making this up. Rancid Sick Bag I carry on my back. It's part of me waiting for the next attack. My disease won't let me be. Rancid Sick Bag I carry on my shoulders. Inevitable cross like Sisyphus' boulder. Reminds me of all I've lost. Random sick bag I carry inside me. Can't unload the burden. Never be free. I know it's only me I'm hurting. Help me. This is Archipelago Dreams. Archipelago Dreams lead to leaden conversations about sundresses and lace regret. Open-ended walks in Japanese countryside lead to cherry blossom promises and golden pledges of acceptance, with the wings of an angel across the star-laden sea, with the heart of a lion, I lay down at the feet of thee. Did you get goosebumps? It's either that or it's food poisoning. This one's entitled Nova Scotia. I don't know what I am, all I know is I can't carry on. Like this, I need to become something else, someone else, somewhere else. But I'm not brave enough to break the inertia and move to Nova Scotia and become a cave dweller. That's Scissors in the Shower. Available now nowhere. This one is quite graphic, so I apologise to the family and anybody who's offended. This is Scarlet Memories. Don't worry, there's pretty clouds in the back cover. This is another humongous one. This has got 231. Yeah, this has got 231. Plus, for some reason, I accidentally made all the print really tiny. So this is called Truth Distilled. Truth distilled in the carp's eye could tell us all, but we drained the pond and let the carp die. Yeah, these are ridiculously small, which is kind of ironic considering there's so many of them. This is called I Smile. This is a happy one because it's called I Smile. I drink from the lake of fire as my insides roast. I smile, a victim of my selfish desires. I told you that was cheery. Ass to brain. Any takers of ass to brain? Hold me in the rain, let me strangle myself in the aroma of your golden hair. Let me lick your spine from ass to brain. Open your eyes and realise I'm not there. That's Scarlet Mementos. You know it's that one because it's got the dead squirrel in the front. Something a little bit classier. This is the Morricone Note. This is a nice purple book. Now we're back to type that you can actually read. We're back to a smaller book. This has only got 120 entries. And as I said, the print is much easier to read, which is a boon. These are actually all quite long as well. So I'm not going to read any of these out for to protect the innocent. That's a Morricone Note. And then we have, this is the Unbalanced Nature of Obsessive Objectification, which is probably an album cover at some point. An album name. I think we're back to a slightly smaller one. Yes, this is only getting 94. You can see I'm running out of steam after the ones at 231. This is only getting 94. And again, all of these are actually quite long as well. We've got Ineffectual Cerebellum. Hellraiser fans will enjoy this one. The title is Lament My Configuration. I've also had to adjust that slightly for legal reasons, but that's the Unbalanced Nature of Obsessive Objectification. That's probably the title I can remember the best. And then finally one that came out, it was a few years in the making because I wasn't as inspired to do it, but this is probably the final statement. This is The Saddening Arc, and this is two of my cats on the front who unfortunately died in 2020. There they are there. That picture pretty much sums up the pair of them. One's a space cadet and the other one knows what time it is. So this was a difficult book to finish. It took a while. This only has 85, and what may be my final solo poem is called Obsidian Neutrality, which pretty much sums up my entire career. I'll just read Pristine Flaws. People come and go, but nothing changes, and still no snow to show our pristine flaws glistening in the moonlight. You kind of get a drift of what this kind of thing is. This one's simply called Brutality. Brutality isn't always bloody, obscenity not always dirty, the crow isn't necessarily an omen, and the broken dog isn't always thirsty. The flow of oxygen is weak, but the medicine will kill. Life is just a losing streak condensed into this little pill. Yuletide merriment. Santa will be bleeding this year from the lesions and sores of our broken promises and orphan children's tears. That's on the same page as infected lettuce. That's always a crowd pleaser. This one's called No Swearing. No swearing, not one word of blaspheme, no backstabbing, no creation of a scene, humility and deference to the grand design, no complaint of this burden or the finality of a dream. This one's called Fight/Embrace It. Let us go down to where the oxygen is thin, where it gets so low that you don't even know if you're dying. You don't have the will to fight it or to embrace it. That's more just like a safety tip rather than an actual... Old ground. Proof of life, proof of death. Breathing in bubbles, lack of depth. Sparse of feeling, no control, always reeling. Watching vicariously rather than being. Just digging through old ground. Which again is these books. So that's the saddening arc, which will probably be my final statement. I did, however, make a book with another poet who's far better than I, from South Africa via Texas. Her name is Kim van Breda, and she's far better than I. But we did Fountain of Forgotten Lives. And we are actually working on a second volume. That's a lovely message to keep in mind. This one has 130 works, shall we say. And they're fairly long. We would do kind of stanzas each or whatever. But that was an interesting project, to work with somebody else. But again, my solo days of writing are probably done. There has been plenty of complaints from literary circles, begging me to stop doing it. So eventually I have bowed to pressure from several governments around the world, and several poet laureates, to please stop printing this garbage. So finally, after 13 volumes and quite a lot of years, I've decided to put the pen down. We've all got to do something for humanity, and that's what I'm doing. So thanks very much for watching this terrible, terrible video. I do apologise for the abuse that I've had to put you through, and regular programming on the Solitary Rowan Films channel will continue as normal for the 3 subscribers that are left after this video. So thanks very much for watching. This is Solitary Rowan Films saying farewell.